Oh, looks like I'm live on YouTube, but my Facebook is not live. Let me try. I'll keep you guys on YouTube live for a minute, if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to get this going. For some reason, it's not working. I've never gone live on this new dummy account of mine. I wonder if I even have audio. Okay, let me see if I have audio. Looks like I have audio. Why won't it go work? Come on. Okay, I think it's working. All right. I'm gonna check. YouTube. Let's see if we're live. I'm just testing this out right now. Sorry, guys. I've never gone live on this account before, and I just wanted to see if it would let me. And now I just want to check and see if I'm actually live. But it's taking me way longer than it should. Sorry. I don't think I'm live. Am I live on YouTube? Okay, I think I'm live on YouTube. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. So, I don't know if I'm live on Facebook or not. Cannot tell, but let me check one more time. I don't think I am. That's okay. All right. Brian's here. He's just on the computer. I just randomly told him that I was going to go live. So I don't know if he wants to participate or not, but he's having conversations on Facebook right now. He's commenting. We have some good news. I'm sure most of you have heard that Michigan, they rescinded their yes votes to certify Wayne County, which is where Detroit is. And apparently, without Wayne County, Trump wins by a lot. John Solomon of In the News, or Just the News, reported in affidavits, GOP canvass board members claim they were bullied and say there are too many irregularities in Detroit to vote to justify accepting the election results. And then Trump just retweeted that right afterwards. So that's a big deal. That's big news. Who do I have in here? I have Denise. Let's see. Denise. Hi, Denise. And there's one other person. Do you want to reveal yourself? I was just thinking about how my whole life I've never thought of myself as a reader. You know, when people would talk about how they loved reading books and they're reading this book and they're reading that book, and it was usually, you know, people were all into like the fictional stuff, The Hobbit, the stupid vampire books. What were those called? I can't even remember what they're called.
Freaking lame vampire stuff, man, that you're all into?
No. Oh, Twilight or whatever.
Vampire? Some
Yeah.
whack ideas,
I know.
man. You guys were innocent.
No, I wasn't really into it. I was just wanted something to read. But so like my whole life, I'm like, I'm not a reader. I just didn't think of myself as a reader. Like I don't read, but it was always because I always thought of reading as being a reader, as someone that reads like novels and books, like these big giant books, until I met you, Brian, and you would
I'm an old man.
you would always describe yourself as a reader. You're like, I like to read. And I'm like, what do you mean you like to read? Like, I don't ever see you reading books. You don't ever read books. He would read when we were first dating. He was even old back then. Nobody read the newspaper back then even, but you were like one of the last people that like still purchased a newspaper, and you would read it cover to cover.
No, only on Sundays.
Yeah,
only
that's
on
true.
Sundays, like an old man.
That's true.
I am an old man.
But I always thought that was cute that you but then when I realized, I'm like, oh, that's a you know, someone that just reads whatever you're reading. If you're constantly reading, you're a reader. And then I realized how much of a reader I have become because of becoming a researcher. Like, I'm a reader. Like, that's what I spend my day doing. I do watch some videos, you know, on YouTube and stuff, and that gives me more stuff to look up. But I'm reading people's social media posts that are informing, and they're linking to articles and linking to websites, and I'm just reading, and I'm read. That's what I do now. I like read all day long, and I'm a reader. So that's what I don't know why I'm sharing that thought, that I'm just thankful. I was also thinking about how thankful I am for all the people that indulge in reading and researching and sharing information, because there's not quite enough of us yet. But anyone that does that is someone that's like truly seeking after truth, and we need all those people. So I appreciate all the sharing that people do with me, because I can't possibly find it's really a lot of work to find the best information, you know, all day long. And so when people find things that they find really interesting and they share them with me, although I don't have time to read or watch everything that everyone shares with me, I do find a lot of great stuff because of what others share. I find everything because of I don't find anything really on my own. I feel like everything I find is, from other people sharing information. So I appreciate everyone that cares to learn about all this stuff. I don't think, except for learning about, learning about God, and learning and trying to learn how to be the best wife, mother, sister, daughter, those kinds of things. I don't think there's anything more important to spend your time doing than learning about the people that rule over all of us, you know? Like, we should all be totally engaged in our freedom or lack of. We should all be engaged in keeping people that yield great power over people, keeping those people accountable. I don't understand people. I think it's very irresponsible and complacent for so many people, especially people that view themselves, that elevate themselves as maybe educated because they have a master's or a doctorate in something, or they make lots of money. If you're not engaged in the most important things in life, like, I mean, we're not talking about, it's not a hobby. Politics, it's not just politics. That's not what this is. That's not what the movement's about. It's not about politics. It's about good versus evil, and it's about freedom versus tyranny. It's that simple. It's that real. It's really that. I mean, if you just strip away everything else, that's what the battle is. And this is the battle that's existed since the beginning of time, since the beginning of existence. The battle of one side wanting freedom and the other side, the ruling people, the deceivers, and all this time that they spend deceiving the masses to convince them to choose tyranny over freedom. That's what the battle is. And people think it's about people. I don't know. I guess Brian and I have a lot of thoughts about our people that share the same faith with us and still don't see that who they are in the battle. Like, they don't see that they are deceived. They think that they really are blinded by the craftiness of men. I don't know how else to better put it. I think they're focused. There's a lot of things that go on for people to be so deceived, but they're focused on what they think makes them a good person or a good Christian, and they don't see how they're accepting slowly, very slowly, like they say, the analogy about the boiling a frog slowly, and you don't even realize
Pepe
it.
the frog? Not Pepe.
Not Pepe. Of course not Pepe. But you know what I mean? Like that analogy where they're just like, they're in the mud and they don't even know it. They don't even see that their feet are getting dirty or whatever it is. They don't even see how they're letting the world.
This is what I'm most bothered about. I think I'm most bothered about is that people believe that they can exercise their right to have free speech by just sitting on the sideline and by not participating. They believe that by not participating, which is including all of those, I don't care what, everybody is scared to say something because they're afraid to offend their bosses, their place of employment, the corporation that they work for.
They're afraid of losing their jobs.
Their career that they've built for years, their clientele. Everybody's afraid of something. And you know what? That right there is a bunch of chicken shit bullshit right there. Is that people go out there and they freaking see they express these opinions quietly from the sidelines. And it's like, you know what? Good for you. Great for you, as a matter of fact. But you know what? This is the thing that happens, and it happens constantly, day in, day out. And I see this. I think one of my biggest complaints is going to be, and it's going to be coming up very soon, is that when the president ends up, when all of this ends up going to the Supreme Court, which I believe it will, eventually it will make its way to the Supreme Court, just like it did. I mean, there's precedence on this, just like when it did with the hanging Chads and Bush v. Gore and Florida and Broward County, when they had to start the hanging Chads. Come on now. Okay, this is going to be revisited all over again. And there's a lot of people out there who are cheering. First of all, there's a lot of people. I see this in Beverly Hills. When Heidi and I go there, I see a lot of cars going up and down. First, I have all this confidence because of things that we know. We've been talking about these things happening for a long time now, and they're finally happening. And as they happen, as things unfold, it's just another confirmation to us. It's just another feather in the cap. It's just like, I knew. And it's not like I knew, like, oh, it's a great, like, oh, I'm this person. No, it's like, oh my gosh, I thought, and now I know. So now
you believe.
So I believed in something. I exercised faith in this, and you know what? It happened, and it didn't happen because it was an "I told you" event where it was like, I have been showered with knowledge, and I can.
No, it was.
It's like, wow.
It was
like a light bulb.
It was a slow awakening, and it took hours and hours and hours and hours of reading to get to where you have that much confidence.
Now, COVID has made researchers and conspiracy theorists out of everyone. So everyone now is wearing a COVID tinfoil hat with COVID 19, 2020, whatever you want to call it, on your heads.
Wait, as the people are you saying that the people are buying that it is a conspiracy?
Well, I
Do you
think there's
think
a lot of people that didn't believe anything. First of all, Epstein, I think, was the very first. It was like the preface that led to what we have now. People started speculating immediately on that Epstein didn't die and all that, and it's like it became this. It was a meme. The whole thing was a meme.
Yeah.
Epstein didn't die.
And then everybody, even the left, were having to admit that.
Yeah,
like that it was.
Everybody was participating in that.
Yeah.
And when everyone was locked down, even now, people have the opportunity like never before to research, to sit down on their computers, to speculate, to look and search for truth. I mean, this is really what's going on right now. And I think a lot of people are coming out of this being smarter and being able to research on their own. I see a lot of people that are around us, Heidi, that are researching and sharing stuff with us every day. We get.
Oh, no, I was just saying I appreciate all the people that do that. Like it makes me happy. It makes me happy because I know that they know that I care about those things and that I'm interested in those things. And that means that they're paying attention to what I've been posting. That's what it really means. It means that, hey, I see that you are interested in what's in these conspiracies and these crazy things that are being blocked by the mainstream media. Clearly, you'd probably want to see this, and I think that's awesome because that's what we hoped people would do. We hoped that we would pique an interest in people that might not have been interested in, and I hate calling it politics because it's not politics. It's literally our life.
It's not politics. It's
truth.
It's truth versus disinformation versus lies versus control, because this is all about control. Ultimately, everything is about control. And if they can control you through a big government, how big? Global size.
Well,
if they can control you through a global size government, they will try. They will attempt. They will make an effort to do that.
And once you can get your mind wrapped around that it's not just the politicians and the laws and things we're paying attention to, it's big pharma, it's big business, it's Hollywood, it's one giant thing. That's why it's the mainstream media. That's why we say it's not politics. It's everything. It's literally the world. So what we talk about is we're not political junkies. We're like information junkies. No, it's information.
Politics. Yeah.
It's so much bigger than that. It has to do with the Catholic Church. It has to do with religion. It has to do with.
This Great Awakening is vast. It's
not politics.
This cabal, the Illuminati. I mean, the Illuminati. Our son told us about this a long time ago. He looked it up. He saw it in the government archives. A letter from President Washington. It's amazing. So the Illuminati has infiltrated us a long time ago, and it infiltrated us through the Masonic lodges. It's part of our history, okay? The Masons are part of our history. If you don't have an understanding of the Masons, you probably want to go out there and get yourself a little 101. It's important to know. And I know a couple of very good Masons, very knowledgeable, respectful. They understand, and they.
Hi, Linda.
See, so again, you still gotta judge people according to what they are and how they are. You can't just look at you can't look at a person's cover and go, "This is how they are," because that is the BS that's out there. That
we've all bought into.
Look at somebody, and yes, if they look a certain way, then yeah, they've got to be a certain way. Because
one of the things that we talked about too is just like one of the devil's best tools of deception is the appearance of purity, the appearance of good, but really being so there's so many things that appear to be but are not so, like from Mother Teresa to the Pope to people that profess to be Christian, like they're
To
so
Mitt Romney.
to people that profess to be Christian but support candidates that support abortion, like up to, Kamala Harris said that it was okay to not. She signed something that if the baby survived an abortion,
Yeah.
that you would not assist the baby. Like she was for that. She was for not assisting a baby. Like this.
That's full term given birth out of the womb.
They
on
are
the table.
Christians.
Do not-
People that call them Christian that vote for these people, and I cannot
But
wrap my
again,
head
okay,
around that.
We're not perfect, okay? I'm just trying to wrap my head and understand, just like Heidi, trying to figure out, like, okay, what does it take for a person to openly support candidates? And people are going to say the same thing. Well, you support a candidate that said grab him by the pussy. Well, you know what? Yeah, I did. And yeah, I still do. And if that's your hang up, please lead me to more information that will make me help me make a wiser choice on why I'm supporting this crazy dude.
Tell me why that is even comparable. Words are comparable to someone's actual political
These guys are.
platform where you agree that it's okay to kill babies
Well,
after they're born. Up until they're born, after they're born, just kill them. It's okay by law.
okay. It's being done. People are making that. They're able to justify the reasoning. And again, they're looking at me going, okay, Brian Vea, Heidi Vea, you two do the same thing. You have this terrible president of yours. He's a bad guy, right? Right, Heidi? He's a really bad guy.
I disagree with you, Brian.
And we tried listening to fake news today, okay? No, it wasn't. What were we listening? Oh, it was.
No, you said turn it off. I can't handle it anymore. No more.
I can listen to. But
Oh, the article I was reading to you.
okay, Heidi, yeah, you were reading an article to me, and I can listen to about 3 minutes of crying. I can listen to that.
It was
because-
a just an article whining about. It was an article saying that even though Joe Biden's going to be president now, Trumpyism is not going to be gone, and it may be with us for the rest of our lives. Trumpyism, this idea.
Can I interject really fast?
Yes.
Okay, it is because President Trump, he just appointed 30 new judges, federal, and their ages, they're very young. So I agree with the article that you read that yes, conservative Trump appointed federal judges are going to be, and one of them they're like, okay, she did not even get a pass. She was not endorsed by the American Bar. Who gives a crap about the American Bar Association? Nobody gives a crap about you guys.
We just want to know if President Trump approved.
Yes,
That's all that matters.
and we want to know why he approved. And you know what? She was head of her class. She got perfect on the SATs. She has nothing but, and she was a professor, and she clerked under Clarence Thomas, Justice Thomas. So it's like, but she's never been a judge before. What would she know? I don't give a crap, man. Exactly. President Trump appointed her, and I'm like,
That's all.
thank you, President Trump.
And that reminds me of another thing. People always want to say, like, you know what, this is not about Trump, this movement, which it's not. It's not about Trump, but it is about Trump. That's the thing. It's like not about Trump, it's about truth.
Okay.
But it is about Trump. Like, there's no other man. I love him, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
I
you
love
do.
him so
We talk
much.
about him all the time. See, even this
He's
is the thing.
that's why I defend him so much and why it's so easy for me to defend
Okay,
him.
going back to President Trump and what's going on right now. People right now are crapping themselves. We've had this conversation before, and people, if you're wondering where I stand on all of this, if anybody's, okay, we haven't been on in a while. I don't know how long it's been, but I feel immovable. I feel like a rock, like not the Rock. You know the Rock. That
You
guy's
feel like you have
that
a
guy's
firm
pedo.
foundation?
Yeah, I don't feel like quote unquote the Rock because Dwayne Johnson,
Yeah.
you're a sicko, man. And
Yeah, he's gross.
he's gross.
Nasty.
We've heard the things. Hollywood loves you. Hollywood loves you.
Especially the producers.
produ-
Hollywood love you.
It's the elite, those producers, yeah, to get those starring roles.
Those Red Shield producers.
Anyways, okay. I don't feel like I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are scared that President. They're like, well, Biden won. Why do you think Biden won?
I know.
Why do you think Biden won?
My dad, of course, I always talk about my dad because he's always so nervous. He's just a nervous guy. And it doesn't matter how many
The glass
times.
is half empty.
Doesn't matter how many times
glass
I
is
tell
half
him,
empty.
Dad, we got this. You have to trust me. And he gets all, I tell him things and he calms down. He's like, you're right, you're right. Next day, and he confessed to me. He just called me on the phone. And he confessed to me. He's like, Heidi, I was watching the fake news and they just keep saying.
Heidi, Heidi. Okay. Your dad will be in the garage at his work table. Have his glasses on, and he has got this little glass window.
He's
so
so
it's
nervous.
so it's like, I wonder what's going on. You go to the house, and it's like you walk by the kitchen, check the fridge, see what's in there, and then look at the little glass window. And if you see your dad with his glasses hanging on his nose, and he's just like busy, it's like, ah, crap. He's been watching that fake news because he's just busy. Like he's just like,
He doesn't
nope,
wanna
I ain't got
talk."
time for you. Don't got time for you guys.
Yes, but he called me and he confessed. He said, Heidi, I turned on the fake news. I turned it on and they kept saying over and over, Biden's the president, Biden's the president. And I looked, he's like, I just started,
wait.
I'm like, Dad, I know. I go, Dad, just remember, just look at it like you're back in Germany in the 1940s and you're watching the propaganda. You turned on the propaganda that the Nazis were putting about the Jews. That's what you're watching. Except this time the Jews are the Trump supporters. and
It's
so
really cool because when you turn the station at 5 o'clock, if you're watching, it's all the same channel. It's like the same. I don't care if the bug on the corner, the bug is the little station that I did, the little graphic that identifies the station. I don't care if that changes. It's all the same story, and you guys know that. Change the channel, see what it says. Today, Trump appointed 30.
Well,
and it's
and
like change channel. It's the same exact thing.
It
Same,
really
same
is getting
story.
weird because it's like how disgusting they talk about Trump. Like literally, they talk about
Local
him
news.
like he's the scum of the
know.
earth and a disgusting pig of a man. And they're starting to project that onto all Trump supporters.
Well, no,
the
well-
language and the way that they're starting to, and then what happened after the rally, how they're attacking Trump supporters. I mean, people have, it's scary. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes. One of those interstitials, do you call them?
No,
Would it be
that's not
not an interstitial?
commercial.
It was just
It's
a commercial
It's a public service announcement from CNN.
on CNN.
PSA.
And they said it had the little piano music.
With piano music, but then they show different masks. They were like, there's the USA
And it was
mask,
kind
the
of like
BLM
ser-
mask.
it was
no, they had different. They
It
had
was dramatic
flag.
piano music. It was very kind of sad. And it goes, a mask can say a lot about a person, with Brian, like Brian was describing the different kinds of styles of masks.
I don't think they had a MAGA mask.
But
I think
then
just
they
had
said-
Black Lives Matter for sure. I saw
And it
that.
can say a lot about the person who doesn't wear a mask. I was like, holy crap. They're full on shaming in that commercial, shaming people that refuse to wear a mask. That was
Well,
disgusting.
yeah,
and it
but-
was
but
full on like
But I didn't
Nazi
feel that way.
Germany
But
propaganda.
I didn't feel that way though. I felt like
My
what was the
mouth
punchline?
dropped.
What was the punchline? Say it again.
And it says a lot about those who don't.
That says a lot about me. Like,
Oh,
I don't
yes.
give a F.
Oh, no, you're right.
I didn't
No,
say the
you
F
did.
word.
You did.
I don't give an F. That's
He
right.
did make that point. He's you know what? It does say a lot about me.
I
It
don't give a
says
crap.
I don't buy into the crap.
Nope.
It says I'm woke and I know.
Don't do it.
So yes, it does say a lot about us.
And I love making eye contact. When I go to the store and I have my MAGA hat on and no mask on, in all Walmarts and in all Targets, at least in Huntington Beach, California, you can go into them. I give you guys business. You guys go there. Even at Target. You go to Target and they've got the shield station when you walk in. Of course, everything is in shades of red and white because that's the only color they want to psyop you with. But anyways, you go in there and there's a person with a squirt bottle. I don't know what's in there. Probably just water, whatever. But and he's got a mask. He's got a thing of mask. And he's like, "Excuse me, sir. Do you need one?" And I go, "No, I don't." And you know what? They always look at you. A couple guys have fought back, but most of them are like, "Okay, have a good day." So,
But you do have to listen every 10 minutes and the stupid commercial comes on that says, and if you choose to not wear a mask, shop with us online. Come back another time and
Okay.
shop with us online. They
There's this
basically
movie,
say,
you know
you're
what
not
was-
wanted.
okay.
You're not wanted.
I forget the name of the movie, but there's a movie back from the 80s. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. And they're on this planet. Oh my gosh, what is the name of that movie, Heidi? Anyways, it feels like that. I feel like I'm in a like there's an announcement, it's a public announcement for your safety and
Yes,
for your well-being and for your good. Okay.
It feels like a
And there's a
dystopian
really-
movie.
Yes, it
Like
guys,
Galactica or
Galactica.
Galactica?
Yeah, that's it.
not it. Is that what it's called?
That's
Anyway.
What was the one I was thinking? I don't watch many movies, man. But that one movie that I saw, they're on Mars, and they start losing all their air and everything. Anyways, I feel like they control everything. The air, the water you breathe,
Yes, they do.
everything.
Because they do. And it's creepy. And thank goodness for President Trump, because and for the Q movement, with all this,
And the white hats
the Great
worldwide.
Awakening.
There are good people in every country
Yes.
of the world, and they're helping to overturn the compromised cabal, Illuminati sellouts that are in everyone's country. The politicians, the influencers,
And you know what?
the actors, the people
Yeah.
with money. They rise and they rise to the top. A lot of them are financed through the cabal, guys.
And there've always been people that were woke. Always. There always have been people trying to wake other people.
We're
always.
new. We're new to the game. We're brand new.
But without Q, it would not have ever happened on the scale.
Well, that was part of
That it
this
did.
military operation.
That's what I'm saying, is that they had, that's what the point of Q was, is yes, there are people that the truth is out there already, but we need to wake the masses. And that was the plan since the beginning, because it was always just little here and there, and just little groups, and just little people, little whispers, little movies made about it, little documentaries about things, but never an awakening, a true awakening on a massive scale.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So that's what we've got.
There's a lot of people that when they hear about Q, they can just plug right on in, and they're like, "Well, I know all of this stuff," and it's like. And then there's people like ourselves. Heidi and I, we had to research tons of stuff while this whole thing was unfolding through the Q anonymous posts that were happening in the chants.
But we
That's-
were prepped from Pizzagate. That's
Yeah.
when we learned how to become researchers, was researching Sandy Hook and Pizzagate a year before Q. So when Q came along, it was like, like I've learned a ton of this stuff. So it was, I don't know. It just all happened so
We're all
perfectly. It was like this perfect prep where my heart and my mind was already open to how crazy the world could be. Because if we hadn't had that little, that time to learn,
Yeah.
because it took a long time for us to learn.
But there are things that are happening. There are false flags that are happening simultaneously. So when we learned about Pizzagate and Sandy Hook, and then when the Vegas happened, that was happening live time. We were watching that, Heidi. We were learning on the fly about like, whoa, what's going on? Because things were not adding up. And then when the people start dying,
well,
and we
because
start seeing
because of
yeah.
our research on Sandy Hook,
That's
it
what I'm
taught us
saying.
to train our eye.
Yeah.
We trained our eye to watch the fake news and every little thing they say, to watch for actors
the censorship
acting,
started happening quick.
to watch for the videos that are going to disappear, to like get on social media immediately and watch everyone's live feeds that were there,
We were watching
to
live
download
feeds that night.
stuff
We were watching live feeds that night in Vegas, and then they continued on in the morning.
and
We were
listening to
watching-
them on the police scanner.
Yeah, but we never recorded any of them. Those testimonies that were live in real time from people that were right there, that happened to be there right when the shooting was happening.
Yes.
And how it continued through many hotels in Las Vegas, and included it going onto the runway where air traffic controllers at McCarran Airport were heard and recorded saying there are gunmen walking onto the tarmac. These guys, these things were happening simultaneously in many hotels, and boy, ever was that a false flag, as
Yeah.
I've learned and I've seen.
That was crazy, because we were It wasn't in, like you're saying, in the past. We was real time gathering information, keeping our eyes peeled for everything weird. Like when his brother, the Stephen Paddock, the shooter guy, when his brother came on and did a live presser. Oh my gosh. I saw through that guy so quick. I was like, this guy
You're
is
CIA actor. You're
terrible.
CIA actor.
He sounds like an actor.
He is
He
an
was
actor.
overly dramatic.
giggling.
His body language was weird. He was like talking too much. Like it was. I wanted to throw up because he was so fake. I was like, people are buying this? Like this is
But
really
Heidi,
weird.
But there's a lot of things that we've all been led to believe that are not what they seem to believe, including the Boston Marathon shooting. That was like
Bombing.
I mean, marathon bombing. I mean, yeah, that
Not
was
just everything, every
I
shooting.
know, but people are going to say no, not every single shooting, Heidi. You know, see, that's why you can't say
I
every
know,
shooting
I
because
know.
you just went and did. So you can't do that. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of things out there that blew our minds and continue to. And when your mind is opened up to the possibilities that the government could be lying to you and creating these scenarios that look as if they really happened. Like look at these events; they really happened. And then you see bullet points in the titles and in the stories that follow after. I mean, your eyes start. You're like going, "Whoa, that doesn't make any sense," because they're trying to tell you something. They're always when they're trying to tell you something in the story, you have to find the story within the story. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That never has made sense, and that's what I've always. As a news junkie, if you look at the news as it's entertainment, as if they're trying to sell a paper or sell ads, you'll I think your minds open up to the possibilities that they could be just trying to sell you something. But when you start looking at the news, like, okay, first of all, I love HD. I was in broadcast television as a cameraman working at a TV studio in Southern California at PBS. And when they had the conversion from analog to digital, we went from a 4x3 format, which is a square, the old TV sets, to 16:9, which is the rectangle. And when we did that, the picture was sharper than ever, man. And it was like you could see the makeup line. They went from regular makeup artists to airbrush makeup artists. You could see everything. You can see the makeup line in HD. Anyways, HD doesn't lie at all. We've gotten so clear that they've had to go back and they had to dumb it down and put like Vaseline on lens. I don't say literal Vaseline, but they had to soften everything. They have a lot of camera control. They've got CC camera control units which can be shaded and make people look perfect. Anyways, all of this stuff. When you're lighting somebody and you get somebody who can read a prompter really good, and you know what? It's still a TV. It's a production. Everything is a production. It's entertainment. It's entertainment value. Why is it entertainment? Because these guys are all hustling for a buck.
Well, because they're
hustling for advertising
beholden to
dollars.
corporations.
Well, no.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and they're beholden to corporations.
Yes,
Absolutely.
because the corporations pay their bills. So are they going to do stories that tell the truth about a corporation that might be corrupt or whatever? Of course not. That's why you can't trust the fake news. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, and because of Project Mockingbird. But that's harder for people to wrap their head around. But it's not hard to understand that when someone owns you, you're not going to tell the truth about a lot of things that would expose the people that own you.
But Heidi, that's Dan Rather. Dan Rather would never lie to me. Heidi, that's. I mean, look at all these stupid names of
Follow
Brinkley.
the money,
All
guys. Just follow the money.
But that's.
And I don't know if
Ted Koppel from Nightline.
I don't know if
never lied to me.
Boy Sit is still here, but if Boy Sit is still here, hello, I've never seen you before here, Boy Sit. Go to Parler. You told me to go to Parler. I am on Parler. My account is at We Are the News 2, the number 2. And Brian's at We Are the News, and I'm at We Are the News 2. And actually, Ivanka just tweeted today, follow me on Parler, which I thought was pretty cool. Like she's basically, I don't know, I feel like she's trying to get people to move to Parler. Cool. Like she told everyone, here's my handle, please follow me on
I bet
Parler.
you the stock just went up on Parler. If it's public, the stock. I hope Parler is not owned by the Rothschilds, by the way.
No, it's not. It's good.
Okay.
Dan, I trust Dan Bongino. I really do. And he's a part owner, and I trust him. I trust that he knows what he's getting into. But yeah, big shout out to Parler from Ivanka, and I think that she is a Trump, and so she's telling people to move to Parler, and it just makes it seem like we're getting closer to POTUS being kicked off of Twitter. About a week ago, I noticed a trend in the news, and the trend was, because I heard it like 3 different times, and I thought, okay, there's a pattern. They're trying to sell us something. And they kept talking about Twitter's new rules, and they kept telling the story about how if you are a political figure or whatever, they won't actually censor you, like legit censor you or remove you from the platform, because they do think that it's important for the public, for public record, to leave what political leaders like a president have tweeted, whether it's deemed as fake news or not. But then they said they have these rules that once you're not in that political position anymore, those rules will no longer apply, and basically are telling us that, I don't know, I felt like it was Trump pretty soon. I mean, they already are saying that he's not the president. They just repeat it over and over and over and say President-elect Biden. So I just feel like it's leading us to them saying, you know, he's no longer president. We're gonna censor him. But
Do you have audio?
Yeah, I have audio. Am I on Facebook?
Yeah, you're on Facebook, and somebody's all, who are they talking to? Okay. Hey, Tom, we're talking to you.
I didn't know I was live on
Hey,
Facebook.
Tom, you know what, Tom?
Who's Tom? Tom Tooley?
There's only one person watching, which is hilarious. But I don't care.
I didn't know we were on Facebook. I had no idea, because when I pulled it up, it didn't show anything. So that's funny.
Hey, Jessica. Okay, that's who we're talking to. Hey, Tom, man, you need to go take a nap, dude. You know what? We need to turn this off. Sorry, man. I'm just messing with you, Tom.
Donald Trump just not too long ago retweeted himself from 4 years ago. No, was it 4 years ago? No, 2012. 2012, when Romney and Obama were running, he predicted that the machines were flipping votes back then. So yeah, people, this is, if that doesn't let you know that this has been planned for a very long time. I mean, the fact that Trump retweeted that is just letting us know, you guys, I've known about these machines for a while. Like, that's a long time. So they had to so from what I understand, in 2016, they knew that was going to happen. But there was a Q post that said, like this time the elections are not going to be secure, but from 2020 on, they will. So do you remember reading that?
Yes.
So does that mean, do you think we'll be seeing exposure of
Without
the
a
blast?
doubt.
Okay, so you do.
Doubt. Yeah.
They're going to show all the
See,
fraud.
so if there's people out there, okay, I didn't get a chance. You know what? I'm in and out of this conversation. Sorry. Okay, and to Tom, if you're still here, Tom, dude, welcome to the party. That's all we're here to do, is just party with whoever wants to party with us. So yeah, whatever. If you're stressed out though, Tom, if you're stressing on the president possibly losing to Joe Biden, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
Why is he stressing?
No, I'm not saying he's stressing. I'm just saying him and others who might be stressing if the president's, they believe that the president doesn't have a chance of winning. What planet do you live on, and why do your eyes deceive you? And why do you watch that bogus fake news that calls someone a president-elect? I mean, look at how all of them in their lower thirds, wait, stop. All of them perpetrate a freaking lie, okay? Which is fine. I'm not going to get mad about this, because unfortunately, that lie is going to be revealed very soon. Because again, the fake news is all part of it. All the networks are part of it, including the local networks, okay? I watch these clowns, man. I watch them. I watch them, and I don't watch them that much. I think I've been watching them a little bit more lately. I don't know why. I've been flipping them on.
It's because I put the TV in our room. That's why.
Yeah, so I'll watch a little bit, but I watch the local fake news, KTLA and KBC and all the Los Angeles channels. And you know what? They're reading a freaking script as well. And just the script and the way the story's told, you can see that there's always a negative connotation about our president. There always is, as if he's not admitting defeat and all this. And I'm like going,
not news at all. It's literally
Frank Buckley from KTLA. Dude, you guys are all controlled clowns. All of you guys are. And I hate to say that because you guys are reading the script. You guys have, and that blonde, she's a little Jessica Holmes. These guys in the morning news, I'm calling you guys out. I watched you guys. And you guys read your little stupid script, and then you guys go back to the puppetry. Afterwards, you guys are like, yeah, look at me, I'm having a great day. And then serious and back to the script. I go back to the prompter, and I start reading the prompter news. And when I read the prompter news, you know what? Unfortunately, that's my voice speaking, but I'm reading somebody else's script that they're telling me to read. But you know what? It's you talking, bro. You guys sign contracts, and you guys are suckers, man. I hate it. But you guys are controlled. You guys are all controlled. You guys aren't even opposition. You guys are controlled.
You know what I read today that was weird?
What's that?
And I didn't look into it, but this lady tweeted that she was super disappointed in Laura Ingraham. That Laura Ingraham, I don't know if she was like talking trash about the president not conceding. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Anybody?
But I was like, what? Laura Ingraham? And then she's all, yeah, and Tucker too. I was like,
Whoa.
what?
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. We're watching a show, but in this time of the show, I was always told that people are going to be, we're going to see people getting flushed out. So people, and we see that happening every day. You see businesses, corporations making the dumbest decisions possible. You see Planned Parenthood endorsing people and talking, and the Girl Scouts. I mean, everybody is really showing their colors, and your true colors should be, if you're a business, it should be making money. It shouldn't be anything political that would make you alienate.
They dropped 40%. Their Fox News, their ratings dropped 40%. Okay, so, like you said, it's not about the money for them right now.
No.
That's what's disgusting.
No. Well, it's disgusting with sellouts.
It's about keeping a lie.
Well, it's keeping a lie, and they're part of the globalist agenda to move to move their globalist efforts worldwide and to take control. And that's ultimately, it's all about control. From the Rothschilds, the 13 families, the 300 families below them. Money. It's like the Vatican, the Saudis. I mean, the Rothschilds. Gosh, it just keeps. It's as vast. The Federal Reserve, centralized banking throughout all the countries in the world, except for a few that have avoided it. Guys, it was always about control. And the president and the White Hats and those in control knew that. And this is the only way they could take and wrestle back control from the other side, period.
Was to give power back to the people. Yes, to
give power back to the people. And it had to be done through other means other than the fake news, the mainstream media, printed press. All printed press was compromised. I mean,
and the corruption is so bad. Some estimates say 70% of Washington, D.C. is corrupt. It's so bad that it had to go through this crazy thing that we're going through. Everything that's been happening for the last 3 years. It's like this all had to play. That's what Brian would always remind me. You would always tell me, because like this whole thing had to play out. It just had to, because they had to expose themselves. They have to, like right now with what's happening with the all the new restrictions, all the governors that are saying you're going to get arrested if you have more than 10 people in your house for Thanksgiving. I mean, it's getting weird.
But it's getting even weirder when you have Gavin Newsom dining in a restaurant with more people.
And having to apologize.
Yeah. And you're having other governors that were traveling. Who was it? Governor Cuomo that went to another New Jersey. Okay, people are going and crossing state lines, and they are hypocrites, man. They're liars, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. That works if you're a parent, yeah, right? If it works if it's us. But if you are an elected official that has been put in power and put in place and put in your position by we the people, then you need to answer to we the people. So when you do things that are foolish and then you show us as, I mean, look at Pelosi getting her freaking haircut. Screw you. Okay? And you know what?
I can't figure out what's political theater and what's being forced to be done.
I know, but who's it
I'm not
affecting
sure.
though? Who is it affecting? It's affecting okay. If you're still sending your kids to public school, shame on freaking you. As a parent, shame on you, man.
Brian,
no,
don't be
I
so
don't care. I don't care. I'm judging all of you parents because you know what? With hindsight, you'll get the opportunity to judge yourself. I'll get the opportunity to judge myself too. But I'm looking at you guys like, you know what? You're sending your kid to wear a shield. How about if you go wear a shield at home by yourself? Okay, practice that. Do that social distance by yourself at home. Sit behind a desk and put a mask on and put gloves on and do whatever you have to do. But it says like, come on, guys.
Don't
really?
talk to children that are sitting
Really,
next to you.
guys?
It's so sad.
This is like
I can't believe I can't believe how weird our world is when we
Subject your kid to that.
when we see
Please do.
like kids with all the masks and all the shields around their desk. And they're only allowed to touch one thing and they're not allowed to interact with each other. They're not allowed to. It's the sickest thing that we've done to our children.
Our oldest.
Our children are going to be traumatized and damaged from
We
this.
got to tell the story of our oldest. Kanoa, he's a good kid. Like he's been brought up in the public school system since kindergarten. He was our experiment, right, Eddie?
Well, no, the last one was our experiment. The first one is
No, the first one is ours. They're all experiments, man. All our kids are all
completely
experiments.
gone through the whole system, never wanted to exit it. And then our youngest hasn't been in it at all. And so we're going to see how different they turn out. But Kainoa he's a rule follower. He's a pleaser. He's always done very well in school. I've never had to tell him to do homework. He just always tries his hardest. He's just like the easiest kid ever when it comes to parenting him with school.
He's so easy that he saw during the registration, like we were driving through the whole entire campus. We'd go through around the whole school. And it was like part of this drive-through registration process that they had. And I told him, I said, I think you're looking at your graduation. We're doing the graduation drive-through right now. And he laughed. Well, guess what? I don't think he's laughing anymore because he told me he's done.
Yeah, he's
done.
like, this sucks. He's like, what? First of all, his teacher is on
Wait. First of all, no.
freaking
First of all, when you go
screen.
to, there's only 12 kids. I think there's only 15 kids that
class.
allowed in class. They all have shields. They all have to wear masks. Okay, 35. I'm guessing 30 to 35 teachers. I don't know how many are on staff, but
are choosing to not show up and show up on a screen.
So they have to.
In
This
a
is right out of
classroom.
TV. I feel like I'm watching. Like, are my kids on a planet now, or beaming to a freaking rocket ship?
So why is they going to the classroom when they can just watch? Because then so he shows up.
No. Plus, they have to have. I don't want to say they're proctors, but they have to have student
Oh,
teachers.
yeah, they
There's
have
somebody there to monitor
pay.
the kids. So you have to pay somebody. So, guys, this is the beginning of the end of the public school system. When you have these teachers that are imploding the necessity, if there is a necessity, of in-school teaching by saying, I refuse to go to school, I'm going to use my ability as a union employee to
say, I choose to not be in the classroom because my safety is more important than they actually, whatever.
Is your safety more important than school a school choice? We're going to find out very soon when this all happens.
So, yeah, we told her, I said, do you want, to my son, I'm like, do you want, he's in his senior year. He doesn't really have that many credits left to get. I'm like, do you want to just test out of high school? Because he's like, he's all, this sucks. Like, I'm used to having a teacher that can help me, especially he struggles with math, and I don't have that, and I'm struggling. I'm not doing well. He's unmotivated. He's never done bad in school, and he's just like totally just like over the whole thing because of the stupid rules, and he just wants to just be done. And I'm like, let's do that for you. Let's get you there. Hello, Debbie White from Texas. Hi, Brad. I don't know if you guys are still here. So a little slow on reading the comments. Where I live, we don't wear masks. Good for you, Debbie. We try our hardest to not wear masks around here. We feel really bad when we go to like a small little business. I'll put on a mask because I don't want it. It's not my job to get in a fight with the little mom and pop shops. That's my deal isn't with them. But the big corporations, we'll go into those stores without masks and deal with whatever they throw our way. But yeah, I hate that we're still doing masks this many months later. It's really weird.
And apparently in California, if you're in California, we have what's called the purple. So I don't believe it. I believe it's state to state. Every state, of course it is. The state governors run their show. Okay. So in California, we have different levels. So apparently I've just learned that purple is the highest level. Okay. So I didn't know that colors, there was a color, ascending color, what do you call? Value. There's a value attached to colors.
Of safety.
Of
Of
safety.
danger.
Of danger or safety?
Of danger.
Okay. Purple, Governor Newsom.
Because they want to scare us, so with danger.
Purple. I guess that's like a purple eye, like if you get punched in the eye.
So with this second wave, are they still claiming that hospitals are overwhelmed? Because I haven't talked to any of my nurse friends to ask them, are you overwhelmed?
I've heard that there's just ambulances lining up.
They're running out of ambulances. Is anybody?
Do you guys sense the panic this time? How about the third wave? When the third wave comes, do you think people will be still buying into the whole...
The toilet paper didn't really run out like it did the first time.
No runs?
Right? It's
No
kind of
runs
running out, but then it kind of like, people were like, oh, we're still figuring out who the president is.
Yeah, I'm done. I think people are done with...
No, because we're in the next phase of lockdowns, more serious than ever. So it's not over. Like it's not something we have to stop. We can stop talking about. They're like, it's getting stinking weird again.
You know what's bizarre to me is medical professionals that buy into this bullshit. I do. I you know what? And I know doctors that don't. I talk to doctors that do it, and they just say, "Hey, you know,
Brian sees doctors a lot.
I see a lot of doctors,
and most of them pull off their mask once they see that Brian doesn't care about masks. They pull off their mask.
I've been with podiatrist, oncologist, pain management doctors,
dermatologist. Anyway,
primary care physicians, you name it. You know what? And everyone has a different idea. And when you talk to them behind a closed door, you go, "Hey, man, so is it BS?" Okay, Brian. I take off my mask, man. I'm not going to tell you who the doctors are, but it's like, but some of them, again, guys, these are medical professionals, man, and they know better, and they're just kind of like, wait a second, I'm a surgeon, and I scrub up, and I do all this stuff to keep sterile, and I do everything, and it's like, but then now I'm wearing a mask to prevent what? What? This just goes against, okay, think for yourself. If you can't think for yourself, I don't know if there's any trolls. I don't know. I don't think anybody watches this anymore. I don't even care anymore. I think this is just clearing my own head out. But yes, I know. I need a haircut.
Yeah.
Okay. I just believe that there's a lot of, going back to what I said earlier, I believe there's a lot of Trump supporters right now who are nervous, who are sitting on the edge of their seat in anticipation of a Trump or a Biden victory, okay? Again, you would think, and you will call him president-elect. I will never call Biden president-elect. But if you think that he's the president-elect, good for you. Congratulations. You won the Dummy Award because you watch a lot of fake news, okay? Think for yourself. Get away from that fake news. There's going to be a lot of arrests made, and we all know that. Project Mockingbird is huge. There's a lot of compromised journalists, producers, TV heads of the studios.
What did you think about that? The presser with the Department of Health and Human Services and the DOD too. The Department of Defense was there too. That Army guy talking about the vaccines, Operation Warp Speed, the whole thing. They were explaining.
24 hours. It will get out and everyone will have it in 24 hours.
And I think what he was saying, because I was listening to it again, and people were like freaking out all over Twitter, saying, "Oh my gosh, he's saying everyone's going to get these vaccines in 24 hours." He wasn't saying that. I think he was really emphasizing. He kept saying equality of distribution. I think that was his point. Is he was trying to saying everyone this is going to be available to anyone who wants it. I didn't sense that he was trying to say that it's going to be a forced situation, but it was kind of weird. Like the whole thing. It made me wonder if there was other comms going on in there.
I think there are. There are already because he was
President always talks about Operation Warp Speed.
Yes, but even the way he was saying, you know what? I suspect that there are a lot of things happening still. I mean, behind closed doors and things that are happening and deals that are still being made.
When's that Kraken coming out? She said it's already, we're just seeing the beginnings of it. We're just starting to see. I mean, Trump keeps tweeting about Dominion over and over. Like, retweeted his tweet from 2012. Clearly, it's all these little things about voter fraud, all these little incidences. That's all part of the case against, or the case for voter fraud. But I think it's really ultimately about Dominion, where the mass voter fraud is, where they could flip thousands and thousands of votes with the flip of a switch from this software. So yeah, all that stuff about ballots being thrown away and signatures not checked. That's important. We need all that stuff to be checked. But really, don't you think it's ultimately about the Dominion software? So, I mean, there's all these lawsuits happening in different states and talk of the Supreme Court. I just want to know how long it's going to take. I'm really confused about the timeline. There's so much information coming out about this could happen and this could happen. And by this time, I'm just confused.
Okay. Can I help you out?
Yes.
Okay, when's the inauguration?
January.
January 20th. What?
20th.
Okay. What's the date today?
November 18th.
November 18th. Okay. I've got good news for you. Everything's going to happen and the president's going to be sworn in on January 20th.
That's all that matters.
There's a lot that's going to happen.
So just focus on January 20th.
Okay. So when you would read the book, are you one of those guys that would just like read the book, like go, okay, I got to know what happens at the end?
That's what you would do. You told me you did that.
I never do. I don't read books. I don't ever read books.
Okay.
I don't even read books.
I wouldn't do that.
But that's what you're wanting right now. You want the cliff notes. You don't want to sit there and read you don't want to like.
I don't want to watch the theater. No, I don't want to watch the movie.
No, you don't. You're not enjoying. You're like, this is not what I paid for. I paid for a spectacular movie.
I want these people to, on the fake news to not know what to say. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Aren't you
I'm looking forward to them. The cat gets their tongue.
Aren't you enjoying the lie? Because to watch them give their spiel and to try, especially the ones on CNN and MSNBC, they are telling you a tale and they are selling you a bag of rocks. It's funny to watch them sit there and spin a tale and tell you in their face what they believe. Now, you know what? This pandemic BS that's going on, that's going to be exposed soon enough. There's a lot of people that are suffering from this. When I say that, there's a lot of small businesses that are going out of business right now.
And so kids that are suffering.
This is freaking real.
School is not.
So I'm not saying that things aren't happening because of this, but when these guys try to destroy the economy and do BS and make up fake viruses like this and have the CDC, the World Health. Okay, all of you dummies out there that still are wearing a mask. Really, I really sincerely do say this to you. I extend a freaking, This is my olive branch to you. You're freaking dumber than the bag of rocks that you're trying to sell me, okay? That's how dumb you are. Because,
Brian.
no, I say that, well,
What do you mean? We have to wear a mask when we go into certain businesses. So what do you mean when you say that, if you're still wearing a mask? You wore a mask to order food. Like,
okay. So
what are you saying?
when I say that, I say the ones that wear them
When they don't have to.
unconditionally. Like, regardless of when you wear it in your car, when you're wearing it to wear it, when you're wearing it to say virtue signal, to say, hey, look at me, I'm good. Oh, you're bad. It's like, you don't even know me, dude. First of all,
No, that CNN commercial was
I know,
bizarre.
but people
It
do
was
look at me.
really
People look
bizarre.
at me weird. People walk down and people still, okay, when I talk about the mask wearers, I'm talking about the people who still, in their heart of hearts, believe that are you still scared? Okay, if you're not in the scared mode anymore, then you're in the compliance mode, right? You're just or you're in the comfortable mode. Like, I am comfortable doing with this, and I will gladly do this, okay? So is that what it's come down to? Yeah? Yeah? How do you feel
What do
when
you
you wear the
mean?
mask, Heidi? How do you feel when you wear the mask?
I avoid it at all costs.
But how do you feel I'm not asking about when you avoid it. I said,
Well,
how do you feel when you wear the mask?
I feel gross. Like, it makes me angry
But what?
so
But you do it. But you did it.
I just, like I said, when I go into a small business, I don't want to fight. My fight is not with the business owner, and I don't want to like get in a fight with this little tiny mom and pop shop because I'm mad at the government. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to deal with not like going against what I believe in those situations, but I have no problem walking around. In fact, when I do go to those little stores, I will like just pull it off, and I'll walk in with it and then I'll pull it off if I can tell that nobody's going to say anything.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, especially if you're there to give them business, it's a mom and pop shop. They shouldn't care.
Exactly.
I go to donut shop all the time. I go to donut shop, and I'm the only one that's not wearing a mask there. But I'm like,
They
hey,
never say anything.
no, they're always
Yeah.
they're always cool. And
I think we just need to try. I think we just need to like try to go into a place without a mask, and then if they
this
ask
is
you,
California. California is pretty whacked, man. We
Yeah.
have a dumb governor, man. So I don't know what it's like in your state. It sounds
people
like
are just so scared to lose everything, so they don't want to get in trouble for not enforcing. But then I think some of them really are afraid of the freaking fake virus, man. I don't know.
but it's real, Heidi.
The
Exactly
Oregon
zero.
governor warns $1,250 fines or 1 month in jail for violating the new COVID mandates. Jeez.
That's Oregon.
Yes. Yes, Debbie. Just put it on your chin. And if nobody says anything, nobody says anything. If they say it, then be respectful, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. I think we should choose.
Guys, just be respectful towards taking away your constitutional
I know.
rights.
I hate
So
that.
just be respectful.
those words-
It's okay.
I know.
Just let your constitutional rights
I
just
know.
flush them down the freaking toilet.
I know. It's weird to have those words come out of my mouth.
Comply with the mandates. These are just governor's mandates. They're not laws. They've never
I
been
know,
signed
Brian,
into
I
law.
know. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and comply with
No,
the freaking
you're
deep
right.
state. The
I don't-
cabal, they only want to give, 6 feet. That's only
Okay.
the number
I
of
get it, Brian.
incomplete 6.
I get it.
6, 6, 6.
Come on.
Yes. 6
calm-
feet. You guys
calm
ever
down.
seen Eyes Wide Shut? They're all hooded. They're all
What does that have to
masked
do with anything?
because they're all
'cause they're all
participating and they're standing conveniently 6 feet apart. So you notice
they are?
it was never 7 feet. Why? Come on now, guys. That's too easy now, guys. It's numbers, symbols. It could never be 7. 7 would never be the number that they would have chosen. These Satanists, these Luciferians, they agree with the number 6. Don't look too hard, guys, because that's really what's going on. Don't look too hard. It's
Debbie,
easy as that.
Debbie, what part of Texas are you at? That's really cool that every day I go to the store, more and more people not wearing masks. That's good. I will say we've seen an increase, by a very small increase, but we used to be the only ones in the store without a mask. And now we'll see one or two people. Wouldn't you say every time? We see at least one or two people that are also not wearing masks. So like, it's something, it's a little bit of a change.
It's nice to see another face.
And Dallas, wow, Dallas is a big place too.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good news. You're not in commie California. That's why we have very compromised state that we live in.
Obviously, it's freaking.
But you know what's worse than even a store person telling you? Because I understand it's their business. But when a stranger on the street asks me where my mask is and she's half my age, oh my gosh, I wish I would have had a better response to that girl. But I wish I would have said what you said to me when you said, I should have said to her, do you know something that I don't know? Like in your youth, do you really think you know more than I do?
No, it's not in your youth.
I'm serious.
No, it's not, but you're making it about, because somebody that's younger than you can definitely know more than you. I'm just saying, do you know, as a person, do you know more than I do?
Yeah.
If you do, please share. That's all. It's all about just letting people, just give them enough rope, man. They'll tell you about everything they don't know. So it's like, if you know something, share.
I guess it's been the Gen Z or whatever. I don't know. No, that's but I'm telling you, that's the people that give me the dirty looks. Like literally, like it's all like 20-year-olds that are giving me the dirty looks, asking me to put a mask on, and so I'm annoyed by like 20-year-old girls because those are the ones that are telling me to put a mask on. That's why I said that.
Heidi?
Remember pre-COVID. Yes, we need to remember what our life was like before. People are like, especially children, I worry about the kids. Psychologically, like,
guys,
making them afraid of other people.
All of these things had to happen. Okay, without a doubt, all of these things had to happen to expose corruption everywhere, from public school to the food that we eat to the medical, from medicine, from big pharma. I mean, we've been lied to for a long time, and the things they've been telling you in school, gosh, man, guys, they've been lying to us all along, guys. It's cruel, the level of fake BS that they've been feeding to us. And the president knows that the president knew, and the White Hats knew, that they were going to use all of the devices that were set up by the other side to entrap us against them. So this COVID virus was used and is still being used against the deep state to make them implode. This is exposing all kinds of rats from the other side, including people like Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley thought she was a big star of the conservative GOP. Screw her.
What'd she do?
People like, well, she's like Laura Ingraham. She's like, let's just.
I don't know what Laura Ingraham said, Brian. So
I don't know. Either,
I'm just saying
but
someone on Twitter was like, I'm like very disappointed with her, and I was like, whoa, what'd she say?
Well, if it's something to the point of the president should concede defeat to Biden, and should not be chasing this. He should not be chasing this voter fraud thing, because there's no voter fraud. It's like, okay, anybody who advocates for that, including Ambassador Bolton, you deep state.
Good evening, Ricky.
Yeah, so anybody who advocates for the president to step out of the way and to stop fighting is like, dude, you might be deep state.
Yeah.
You might be compromised.
Yeah.
You might be compromised.
I think that's what's going to be shocking to us, is how many of these GOP people that we might think are good are ending up being disloyal to the president. And
as much of a sellout as Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, you're a piece of garbage.
And I feel so, like I said, it's like if Trump ever did anything that was wrong, we would totally acknowledge that. We don't worship the man. He is a man, and he is capable of making mistakes. But I haven't really seen any mistakes. so far. So everything he's done, every
Heidi.
word out of his mouth, his actions line up with his words. So I trust the man so much that if he fires someone, then that person needed to be fired. If he hires someone, then that person needed to be hired. I truly trust Donald Trump. Like, I know he's good.
You got to remember though, Heidi, that the things that are happening in his administration are strategic.
Exactly.
Okay, so no, but you're saying like I trust him, like he's making these decisions, like.
No. That's what I mean. You didn't let me explain myself.
I'm talking. Let me. Oh, Heidi, I'm talking.
Okay.
Okay, I'm talking.
Okay.
For a second. You have to let him freaking govern and do what he's gonna do. Okay, you can't just like. Man, you totally lost my thought now. Whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying.
But when I was talking about him hiring and firing people, I know that he does those for strategic reasons too. I don't think it's just
Heidi, everything is strategic.
Yes,
No,
I know.
but you're saying I know he does that for strategic reasons. No, everything that he does is strategic. This is a military operation, Heidi. He's just not looking at somebody and going, I think he's underperforming. He doesn't, Heidi. If he's bad,
because that's
he's
why
bad.
he retweeted himself from 2012 about the voting
but Heidi,
machines.
There's no chance. Don't put any element of chance to this. Okay, the people that are bad are being exposed as bad. It's not like
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, maybe he's a bad guy. I don't think he's doing such a great job as the cabinet, working as the interior secretary. I think I'm going to let him go. It's like, no, dude, you're freaking bad, and we kept you here because we knew you were bad, and now it's time for you to freaking get let go. And when you get let go, you should expect cops coming over to freaking... See, once they're let go too, you got to know they're looking over their shoulder the whole time. It's like, when's that black car going to show up knocking at the door at 4 o'clock in the morning? Because that's how it's going to happen. So it's like, I don't think that there's anybody that's necessarily like, again, if you're this close to the president now, you're either marked. You're either bad or good. You don't get in this close and then act as a if you're an enemy of the state, we got you, sucker. I don't care if you're a woman, a man, if you're not on the side of good, you're going to get exposed. And you should be looking over your back. There's a lot of people that participated in this whole entire voter fraud thing in all 50 states. They should all be looking over their shoulder because they know it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, Ricky had breaking news. He says Alaska General Assembly gave notice. Also, 18 USC 1038, false information and hoaxes. Text contains those laws in effect on November 18th, 2020, whereas we, the people of the territory known as Alaska, hereby give notice that we have formed together in union to notice the world of our state settlement and the Covenant of Alaska, a free and independent nation equals state. Wow, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean that they want to be recognized as independent from the United States? Please expand on that if you can, Ricky. That sounds very interesting. Wendy Harkins, you're hanging out with us late at night. You're crazy.
Wendy, what's up?
What's up, Wendy? She says 2 COVID deaths in California under the age of 18 and schools are closed. I know. It doesn't make
and I'm not even quite sure. I don't even know.
Sense.
Okay. If there are 2 COVID deaths, I bet you of those 2, both of them are they had compromised.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
they probably weren't healthy to start with.
Something.
I can't remember the percentage. It's something crazy like 90%, or maybe even more. Like, let's say it's 90% of all COVID deaths are not actually COVID deaths. They're actually like 10,000 of the deaths were for people that were on hospice. So they were already dying and they were expected to die. But those were marked COVID. And it was through the CDC numbers. I was watching, someone sent me a video. All the CDC numbers, when you look at them and you break it down and you see all the pre-existing conditions and everything that had to do with why they really died, and then they call Trump a conspiracy theorist for suggesting that the doctors might be corrupted by a 30% or 20% extra bonus for marking someone as a COVID death. And they say, why would a doctor ever mark deaths for COVID? Why would they do that, Brian? Would they do that? Are there doctors and hospitals that are corruptible that might mark a death to get some extra money?
No.
$20,000-$30,000
They
extra?
don't get kickbacks from Big Pharma. No.
That would never happen.
Pharmaceutical reps that go to all the doctors' offices, they don't have kickbacks. There's
What
nothing.
a
There's
silly thing for the president to suggest.
Doctors.
He is a conspiracy
Okay.
theorist.
I love doctors because they're out to help people. You know? But dang, man, they like
money, too.
Yeah, come on now.
They're human too, and they're corruptible too. So yeah, that was in that article that I read you too. They were just like saying, can you believe he's suggesting that doctors were marking deaths COVID so they could get extra money? Like, what world do we live in, people? Yes, that happens when you put an incentive in there, and you can make buco extra bucks for marking deaths COVID. As simple as a little check mark. COVID death.
It's
$30,000.
It's as simple as being a cop and just milking that overtime. I know a lot of cops are doing that too. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of transparency for everyone, especially if you're public employees, man. This stuff has got to,
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good, no, perfect words that make your writing sharp or
That
Sorry
was
about
a
that.
long ad. Yeah, so that's, I don't have much news for you guys. I had a little bit of the whole thing with Michigan. Apparently, that is a big deal. It means Michigan's totally in play. And it means Biden is not winning. Georgia, I don't know. There's stuff going on in Georgia today or yesterday. There's stuff going on in Wisconsin. Nevada. Trump said he won Nevada. So every day it's
this
curious.
is the easiest thing. It's like, so you had these. There's a lot of women that have won. Republican women that have won, and I think there was like 27.
Oh yeah,
seats.
new people, like
Yes,
a lot
new-
of new.
yes.
What do they call them? Freshmen,
freshmen.
congressmen, or whatever.
So there's a lot of new congressmen and women, and it's like, and you're gonna tell me that the president didn't like help any of these people? Like, yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And
No
even
sense at all.
they know it doesn't make sense, but they have. What is their excuse for that?
Fix his hand.
They really think that these Republicans won not because of Trump, like it has nothing to do with Trump.
What's crazy is what Trump has provided, and he even said this in one of his tweets. He's provided like one of the most secure. So they're basically saying that this is a secure election because Biden won, right? Like, okay, it's secure now.
But if Trump would have won, they would not
Oh.
have said that.
Well, that's again going to all be exposed. We'll see. We'll soon see.
Oh, that's true.
Do you remember that, Heidi? We will soon see the left begging for a recount, and when they get it, it's going to be nasty. The reality is going to be nasty that their team has been cheating the whole. Unfortunately, your team has been cheating for a long, long time.
And Sidney Powell says the evidence will be so vast and so clear,
Overwhelming.
that it's going to be irrefutable. Like, so anyway, that's what we're waiting for. And I feel really good about how much, because, Trump doesn't tweet things. He doesn't say things. to look like a fool. That's not how Donald Trump plays the game. We all know that by now.
Heidi, it's okay. It's more.
Grammarly does more than catch errors.
Okay, it's more than that, Heidi. Okay, it's not. Again, it's military. Everything he does is not a coincidence. It's not a mistake. It's not a misspelling. It's not. All the capitalizations, everything is military. Yeah. No.
Yes, that's what we're.
Is anything by chance?
Well, I don't see. I don't know. I don't know how much of the deep state is actually still battling and how much of them are controlled. Like, I don't know. You seem to be convinced that Gavin Newsom is totally on a leash.
Yes.
Which sometimes I think he is, but sometimes I'm not sure. I don't know. So I'm not sure how many people are on leashes, how many people are being controlled, and how many people are free. Like, is Adam Schiff on a leash?
Okay.
Is he being controlled? Is Pelosi?
Well, let's go back to Gavin Newsom. I believe that he as well as Jerry Brown, when they went to Santa Rosa at the Santa Rosa fire, and they were standing with the president went by Air Force One, stood by them side by side, and they stood behind the president with their arms behind their backs symbolically for like 3 minutes. 3 complete minutes with them standing with their... Okay, I believe that was part of the symbolism that's behind them being basically back on our side in terms of they're controlled by us. You don't believe that?
No, I've always thought that was...
But you just asked me, you just questioned me about Gavin Newsom. So do you believe me on that or not?
Do I believe you on that? No.
Do I believe that Gavin Newsom was showing... I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I know, and I'm answering it.
But you just said that I believed that Gavin Newsom was basically working on our side and was not an informant.
Well, I don't know. There might be times when they're showing submission, and then other times when they're
either you show submission or not. Either you've shown that either he's with us or he's not with us.
I know, but couldn't they go back on their word?
Well, I guess you could.
I don't know.
I think that's a death. I think that means a death sentence. So you're basically saying that he made a deal.
Don't know,
Wait, stop. So you believe he made a deal with the president, and then he's reneging on that.
I don't know.
But you just suggested it, though.
No, I don't. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like trying to figure it out.
My thing is, I believe he made a deal. If he didn't make a deal, and if he reneged on the deal like you just said he did, possibly did, then that's a death sentence for him, because you can't create a scenario where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I guess you can. Everybody's got their.
What about Pelosi? She's done a lot of clown things.
What do you mean? Is she?
Do you think she's controlled, or do you think?
Is there evidence of her being?
Well, when she ripped up the State of the Union.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you. Do you believe there's evidence out there that she's controlled by the White Hats?
I don't know, because she did that. When she ripped up the State of the Union, I thought that was like a strange thing.
But that could have been their side signaling.
I know. And then when she did the whole ice cream thing, I'm like, she looks bad. That looked really bad for her. But then people were saying that.
You know what that was for, right?
Well,
it was for people to launder money. They were laundering money through ice cream.
Yeah.
And even the cost of the ice cream. Everything about the ice cream
So that was a total deep state comment. It wasn't anything to do with the White House. Weren't making her do that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things where I'm just not sure.
But I've never seen a suggestion that she's been on our side. Like, nobody's other than her ripping it up. You believe that her ripping it up was telling? Do you believe that's something?
No, I believe when she does these things, and then when she got caught with the hair salon, like Gavin got caught. Like, is that part of people like started to make people dislike them because it was so? I don't know. It was just so rude.
Staged.
It seemed staged.
So then, if it's staged, then who's staging it? Our side or
That's
their
what
side?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
Their side wouldn't do that. Their side would not make her look bad. It'd have to be our side, Heidi.
No, but what if they're? Is that true though? Don't you tell me that you're always telling me that they're forced to do things to make themselves look bad.
So so their side is forcing themselves to look bad?
No, that they're.
Why would their side take a picture of her and leak it of her getting her hair cut and a freaking thing? You're suggesting that though. Their side wouldn't do that. Our side would do that.
Yeah.
Why would their side? Why would their side have? What would the benefit be for them faking and putting her out there to make her look bad? They don't want her to look bad.
I know that.
So I'm saying that, so you're saying she's.
But I think some of the things that they
so
do.
you're saying she's compromised
No,
then.
I don't know.
Now you say she's on our side.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. I think there's not that. Maybe she is, but I just haven't seen the
I don't know.
evidence.
I just don't know. When they say you're watching a show,
I know, but I haven't
I'm
seen
like-
the evidence that she's working for us. Is what I'm saying. Maybe she is. I don't know. I'm not
maybe
speculating because I
I
just
know
don't
because
know.
sometimes there are Q posts that said that they're like acting for their lives.
Well, if they're acting for their lives and they're on our side and they have to act that way, or else they're not gonna. So if
I don't know.
Like, if think about this, okay? So you're thinking their side is forcing them to do stuff, or else they're gonna get killed on their side?
I don't know.
Okay, so who's gonna get them? When they say they're acting for their lives, I believe they've cut a deal, and I believe that they're acting for us. And if they don't do the things that they do to collapse their city or their country, their city, their state, or their country, whatever it is they've been compromised on, if they don't make the people turn against them, then yeah, that might be part of the deal for them to make people turn against them.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. So are they doing things? I don't know. I just haven't seen the evidence, so I don't really speculate too much on like Nancy Pelosi. I know she's bad. She's on the Q post. She's on a flow chart that shows her connected to the Getty family and freaking
And
to
to
Gavin.
Newsom.
So it's like, yeah, these things I believe. I mean, there's no coincidences there. They're all put into power because of their family lines, their bloodlines. So I don't know. I like to speculate, but I don't know anything about her.
Yeah. Debbie says, remember, we're watching a movie. We're constantly told that. So how much is it like actually a battle? Like we're actually watching, I don't know. I know we know Trump wins.
Well,
That's all that matters.
All those patriots and those families that were getting freaking pummeled on their way back to their cars after this rally this past weekend, this 1 million man march that they had, it's like, that was legit. That was real. People were getting freaking pounded.
I know.
So it's like, that's legit. And that sucks, you know?
Yeah, Antifa is real. Like that's a real battle that is out there. BLM is a real battle. They really are burning people's businesses down. That's happening. And it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But it does get better.
Okay. Don't make them scared. You're making me scared. What the freak?
I mean-
Now we're saying it's going to be cool and good and we're watching a show and all of a sudden you're like, oh.
I'm talking about the civil unrest that's going to take place after they announce Trump's the president. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you jumped to that. Okay. So guys,
Well, when we were talking
hunker
about
down.
No.
Get the siren out.
No,
get
when
your food
we're talking about
supplies.
BLM and Antifa targeting Trump supporters. I don't think they're done doing that. I think that's still going to happen. And Ryan, stop with your game. It's so rude.
Who am I being rude to?
The people we're talking to.
I'm talking to you.
You keep turning on your game and the ads keep popping up. It's so rude.
But I'm talking to you. Who am I talking to? Who am I
Brian.
talking to? I have no idea who I'm talking
Debbie
to.
White's talking to us.
Debbie,
Ricky's
what's up?
talking to
Debbie,
us.
Ricky Bobby? Ricky Four Corner?
Yes, not Ricky Bobby. Jenny Warman just got an email from George Soros talking
Jenny who?
smack. She's a viewer.
What's
Jenny
her name?
Warman?
What's up?
Worman. Just got an email from George Soros talking smack about Hungary and Poland for vetoing some giant euro bailout, sounding a little desperate. Oh.
George Soros.
Yeah. There's stuff happening in Europe, man. They're trying to... They're
raising the alarm.
protesting.
They're sick of the masks.
They're sick of the masks. I mean, I think their lockdowns are like, at least I heard in Australia, it's really bad. In like in Victoria, like you're not allowed to leave the 5-mile
Wait,
parameter.
where did I read that there was like a 21-day lockdown that they're going to have, and there's like a curfew from like 5 to 10,
In the United States?
or from 10 to 5 in the morning. Yeah.
Like in one of the states? That does sound familiar.
Is it New Mexico? I don't know, but I'm kind of worried that our country is looking more and more like some whack freaking Hollywood movie from the 80s.
Chris Murphy, so argumentative, very annoying. What are you talking about, Chris? I've never seen you, Chris Murphy. Are you saying we're very annoying?
Hey, Chris, you know what's annoying? Your stupid comment. How about that? How about your whiny little freaking comment? Chris, you little whiny little...
Brian? Who are you talking about, Chris Murphy?
No, you're making me whine because I'm whining about you. Dude, your comment's kind of lame. How about that? Welcome to the show.
It's not... Yeah. You've been on Trump's MAGA campaign since 2015.
Dude, you
So
were before
Debbie,
me.
no,
You're
no,
earlier
you're
than me.
I'm talking to Debbie. Debbie, when did you discover Q? Because you're obviously a Q follower, and you've been on the Trump train since 2015. I have not been on that long.
Nope.
It was after Ted Cruz, because we were like, we don't know anything about
Even
Trump.
Ben Carson. I like Ben Carson, too.
Yeah. But once Ted Cruz dropped out and I started listening to Trump because he was going to be the nominee, I was like, whoa,
I like this guy.
I like this guy. It felt so good when he spoke. Wow. He sold me pretty quick. Pretty quick. I jumped on that Trump train and I started going to rallies and events in 2016 and stumping for Trump as soon as I heard him speak.
Nah, but it was more than that. It was a Q, too.
Oh, 2016. Good. So you've been following since pretty much the beginning. Or was it 2017? No, it was 2017. It was October 2017.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Q came out in 2017.
Yes.
October 28th.
Awesome.
If you're following Q from 2016, that might be like a poker tell that Q didn't come out that early.
Q clearance or Q access authorization is the Department of Energy security clearance required to access top secret. Yep.
Yes.
That is true, Ricky. Very true. Q Clearance Patriot was the very first thing that they said.
Post.
The person said, Q Clearance Patriot here. And it was specifically, the energy department, which is interesting. So Brian is an argumentative person. He is. That's just him.
Who is
He
that,
likes
Chris?
it.
Who are you talking
No,
about?
I'm just talking to his comment.
Oh. You gotta argue, man. Nothing should come that easy that you can just say it. And unless it's truth, unless it's pure truth, I mean, you can't just have these ideas that are just that go untested, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, but you could be a little more gentle when you're trying to teach people things.
Who's trying to teach people?
You? All the time.
I'm only trying to, I'm trying to teach people, but I'm not one that, it's like, if I'm not the right voice for you, you gotta go. You gotta move on. Because there might be a good voice for you. It might not be me. I'm easy like that. I'm not making any money doing this. So I'm not trying to win people over. I'm not trying to build subscribers. I did that already. Got burned. So I don't, You're looking at me like, Brian, you're digging yourself a hole. I don't care. Don't. I mean, people tell me I'm crazy. People have been telling me that I'm freaking nuts for a long time now. So for somebody to sit there and try to make this a safe space. This is no safe space.
I think what's happened is your patience has worn thin with people. I think that's what's happening.
Oh yeah.
I think you're just
I'm over freaking retards. I'm not calling anybody retard.
No, but even
I'm
when
not
you're
calling
talking to me, though, you could be nicer to me.
I know, Heidi. I'm sorry, Heidi. I love you.
He doesn't. Brian has made. I will say. He's made me a sharper debater, a sharper thinker, a sharper, because he's constantly challenging me whenever I make a statement. He's constantly forcing me to think about exactly what I said. Did I actually mean what I actually said, like every word? And so he always makes sure that I'm clear about the things that I say.
Well, I try to be. I'm not very clear, though. I'm not. I mean, isn't that what we're always trying to do? Find understanding? Right? Kind of, sort of.
Your husband's the same. Sometimes it's the male and the female thing, right? It's like, it's the
Who
female.
said that? Who said that?
Who said that?
Who said that their husband's the same?
Someone, Cher Hollyweird said that. My husband's same sometimes.
Okay.
It is. It's the way the male brain works versus how the female brain works. And once you recognize that, then you can like understand each other better. Where it is true, like women focus on the way things make them feel, but we're designed by God like that for a reason, so that we could be caring and nurturing and loving and kind to like children, and have patience, and even with our husbands to be loving and nurturing and kind, to have patience. They need that from us.
Okay. Every bad quality that I have, Heidi is like, I hope you see, I think everybody sees this. You're like the good stuff.
I make up for all your bad behavior.
So I'm out of control, and I do say things like off the top of my head, just like, and I don't always think things out. I'll be the first one to say that. I don't always think things out. But it's like, in every situation in life, you can't come to me and give me something and say, like, you can't give me a rock and go, this is a cheeseburger, eat it. You'll never be able to do it. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just like, I just can't say that it is what it is. Now, when you live in a state where people are trying to tell you, and like, these are my pronouns, it's like, I can't, I'm looking at you right now, and I'm going to take a wild guess at what I think you are. And if I can't take that guess, if I can't make that choice, which sometimes you don't know, you're like, wow, what? I usually try to avoid that conversation because I don't want to get myself in trouble. So yeah, when we live in a place where it's just like, it's so like tiptoe all over everybody's feelings, then yeah, I kind of like lose a lot of matches because I just go in there like throwing everything down like, whoa, hey man, show me some facts and get rid of the feelings. I'm not very good at that stuff. And Heidi, I'm just trying to figure out, right, Heidi? I'm still trying to figure everything out, right? Kind of, sort of, yeah. I know, whatever. I just
No, you are just more impatient than you've been lately. I don't know. I think that normally you're good at.
I don't have that much patience. You know that, Heidi.
You just need to.
I'm lacking in patience and intolerance. I'm pretty intolerant, and that's not a good. I'm not bragging about that. I'm just kind of like, I've been trying to help you get over this.
I think your expectations for people are a little high sometimes, and
well, they're high for myself. I try to like live up to my own expectations. I don't, but when I do find truth, I try to share it, and when people reject it, I just kind of like reject them. I'm kind of like, that's kind of where, and then when people come back around and they're like, you know what, I like what you had to say finally, I'm kind of like, you didn't like it 5 minutes ago. You didn't like it 5 hours ago.
Ricky, I will look into that. You're right. We need to look into our California Jural Assembly, like that lady that we met.
Yes. Ricky, what's up? We have a good friend. Her name's, she's big into.
We told them about her. We just, I
Yes.
never put them together, hooked them up like I said it was.
I think her name's
But
Charlene.
She would be the person for us to talk
She's
to.
very smart.
And she invited us to a meeting. We should get in contact with her again. And I don't know how to find her because our Facebook is all gone. But you're right. That is something that we should look into. Don't worry about the typos. Debbie, yes, we are a team. Jose, hello, Jose. Aguilar, what do you mean by carnal? Carnal desires? Is that what?
Carnal.
You said carnal. I don't know.
Oh.
There are infiltrators out there. Oh, even in the Jural assemblies, there are infiltrators. Wow.
Well, I expect infiltrators to be everywhere, to be honest. I don't think anything is safe from being...
It's true.
Compromised.
We should always keep our heads up.
And I don't want to be like paranoid, but there's just some elements that just don't make sense of every organization. Like, what the heck? This doesn't make sense. What the heck is this?
Yeah, complacency is what has gotten us in this mess anyway. Just like trusting people without questioning things, not calling things out, not being transparent about things.
Not standing up for things, too.
Yeah, and like letting things just happen. Like letting Black Lives Matter march through your town what's it called? Unrivaled. I don't know what the word is. Like without anyone saying uncontested. Like whose streets? Our streets. They're marching down your little town streets, marching.
People are boarding up their places because they've seen.
And then you got locals, saying, "Oh, I think it's great. It's great that they're doing this." Is it? What's great about it? They said that you're racist because of your color of your skin. They're literally
telling you you're racist, and you're standing side by side with them.
And you want to give them your job and your house and all the rights that you don't even have. Free ride to college, pay for everything. Like they want to be segregated from you. Anyway, I don't need to talk about BLM. I don't know.
How did you get to BLM?
I don't know.
Man, you took it to BLM. Ugh. Anyways, we should wrap this up.
I listed my account on Facebook. Oh, I lost my account on Facebook because I posted about Biden. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Well, we posted. I don't really know why. They just disabled their. But I think it was the last stuff we were posting was about the voter fraud. Basically, that's all. And then before that, it was the Hunter Biden laptop that got us in jail. But yeah, they're just done. We just had lots of marks. I'm sure we had lots of strikes against our accounts.
No, we didn't.
No, I mean on their end, not on us. I'm sure they're like
visual accounts that they say this is what you've done. We didn't have anything.
They were like they told us that were stopping our reach of our videos. They're like, we don't like what you're doing, so we're gonna completely limit your reach. We're gonna limit your reach to zero. So
we're not gonna let you boost it.
They wouldn't let us like share. Like they would not help.
So you have zero reaching when 0 eyes are allowed to see it. That's basically shadow banning. That's it.
Completely, and they were open about it. That's the one thing they did tell us.
They're like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Oh, Jose, you're rad. Wear that as a badge of honor. He said the laptop stuff got him banned for life. Awesome, Jose. That's rad. I love you. That's how it should be, man. That's what we got to do. That's what the digital war looks like. That's what a digital army looks like. And that's how we fight back. It's an information war. So, yeah, we're going to get banned. We're going to get jailed. We're going to do all these things. And then we're just going to create new accounts. And
nah, I'm done with the new accounts. I got my file. I don't like...
Well, you know what I mean. Go to another platform.
Yeah, go to another platform.
Bring people with you. Like, that's like what Ivanka did when she said...
When we go all.
Exactly. When Ivanka said, follow me on Parler, she was like telling the troops, come on, guys. We got to start... moving over here so we can, because slowly what's going to happen is it's going to become an echo chamber on Facebook and Twitter, and people are going to get bored because there's not going to be any opposition. There's not going to be anyone to troll. It's just it's all just nonsense. It's going to be Facebook already
is nonsense.
Facebook already feels that way, to be honest. It feels like, I never go to Facebook to find.
Stop bagging on Facebook. There's people on Facebook watching right now.
I'm just saying, it's so heavily censored. Nothing interesting or good is going to be there. It's just going to be the fake news narrative. It already is. It's just the fake news narrative over and over and over. Where we go one, we go all. You hurt from your battle. You have battle wounds.
Whoa.
Michael with Patriot Hour, Patriot News, Praying Medic, X22 report got me involved in Q. I am not familiar with Michael with Patriot Hour, but I am familiar with Praying Medic and X22. And X22 is probably one of my top favorite 3 people that,
Mine is Joe M. And when Joe M. left, I was kind of like, okay, I'm good. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, you know, Joe M really like the way. This is what I'll say about Joe M. I learned kind of how to write and how to form my arguments a lot from reading him. The way Twitter is set up with how, you know, a limited amount of characters, I think it's a kind of cool. It's a cool platform in that sense that you have to be really, unless you want to do a long thread, you have to be really precise about what you're saying. And I don't know, he was just really good about using
Doing that many characters.
the
whatever it
way
is,
using the right words and
and their format.
and just painting a picture with as few sentences as he could.
No, it's not a few sentences. It's in the,
Well, and
amount, the amount of characters, whatever it is.
Yes, obviously. So I felt like by reading him all the time, like, you know, however, he was posting all day long before, and I would just be reading his stuff all day long. I learned how to write. That helped me learn how to write. That's kind of,
He totally influenced you.
yeah, really good stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna end this stream. Just wanted to check in, and
That's a long check-in we did.
it's been a few, I don't know how long it's
Hours?
been. A week or something since I don't know how long it's been. But it feels like we've gone live at events, but we haven't sat and gone live for a while.
Hey guys, sorry for being rude. If I was rude to you. Listen to Heidi. She's the good side. I'm the bad cop.
Yeah. And I get to be married to you.
Yeah.
Yay!
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
No, I love Brian.
I love Heidi too.
He's taught me a lot. He's hard on me, but
I'm a grumpy cat too sometimes.
he's hard on me, but he's toughened me up and made me a fighter. That's what he's done. He's taught me, because I never stood up for myself before. I was very shy, very passive, and I rarely would stand up for myself, and because it was just too hard. That's kind of the culture that my parents brought me up in, because they're so non-confrontational, that they made us all non-confrontational. Like, we avoid confrontation, and Brian is the opposite.
I'm not looking for.
No, but you don't avoid it. You're like, let's do this. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, if
And
somebody
so-
needs help, man, I'm the first one there getting myself in trouble.
So, yeah. So he's made me a stronger person, mentally, for sure.
Well, it starts with people that just at the store, just step in front of you and just walk in line and just don't think you're standing there. So they just pretend like they're. And a lot of people will look the other way. Heck no, I'll make a scene.
Thank you, Debbie White. I like you. She said, y'all are great. So great together. I love that you say y'all,
We
too.
try. It's not always.
I love that you say y'all. I love
Thanks.
that. It makes me
Thanks,
want
Texas.
to experience some of that Texas hospitality.
Thanks, Texas.
So we don't have much
I
of
love
that.
Texas Patriots.
We don't have much of that in California, man. Only among the Patriots, though. You can find that love
Oh yeah.
and that what do you call it? I don't know, that brotherhood, sisterhood, like that family feeling. When we hang out with our Patriot friends, it feels
family.
it feels like home. You can talk about anything, and nobody will judge you. You can be open about everything. Well, you know what? If you do talk about things people disagree with, you can have a conversation. People welcome conversations. Anyway, thank you, Debbie, for
Thanks for hanging out.
thank you,
Anybody that's hanging
everyone.
out.
Thank you, all those who are here
And you know what, guys?
to hear our
Don't stress.
unscripted conversation about random things, mostly about what's going on. But we are unscripted. We're very unprofessional. We don't pretend to be. I'll never ask you to like, share, or subscribe.
That's nonsense, guys. That's foolishness.
Anyway, but if you do like, share, or subscribe, thank you.
Thank
because
you.
we are, no, seriously, because people can't find us anymore. We're totally off. Well, I mean, we just lost a lot of followers when we lost our page, and it was a good little page going. We had a good thing going, and then we were building it, and it was done completely organically, and we were proud of ourselves. And we started to have a real following, which was fun, and it's all gone. So,
But we knew.
so thank
Heidi,
you.
knew
And
it was
it's
gonna
okay.
go.
And it's okay.
You knew it was gonna go.
It's okay. We can start over. We can start fresh and start anew. But yeah, so if you guys do, I'm never going to ask you to share anything, but I do thank those that do. And
Thank you guys.
It's very kind of you and
And we
appreciate
like that
it.
you're participating in the Great Awakening as well, because this is like we do this because we know it's real, and we know that
It's important.
it's that
We're participating.
that us being awoke and being is intertwined with everybody else's, Great Awakening. I mean, that's the only way it happens is on this huge level. So, as annoying as I might be, imagine being married to me.
And you know what, Debbie? That attitude comes from someone who knows. She said it's going to be so wonderful in a few months.
God.
It is. The best is yet to come.
And Debbie, thanks for sharing that positive outlook on how it is, because a lot of people are looking at you, Debbie, and you know that. They're looking at
And
you.
you're bringing comfort to people that are so scared right now. Like, seriously, if I did not know about Q and about who Donald Trump really is and about the military operation, I would be scared out of my mind, just like my dad, who is up and down on this roller coaster of emotions every single day. When he checks into the TV and the TV tells him that Biden's the next president, his heart breaks and his heart races, and he calls me, and I don't know. He needs comfort.
But you know what though? Heidi had him on speaker. I heard him earlier tonight, and he did say he was okay. I gave him a pass because he goes, Heidi, I did watch the fake news today. When you say that and you confess to that, I'm cool with you, because it's like.
And he admitted that it made him
admitted it.
afraid again.
He knew. He knew.
Just as he was feeling confident that this was all going to come out soon, checking into the fake news once again just totally broke his heart and and that's what the fake news is supposed to do.
I know, but that was humility for him to say that. When he said that, and I was listening,
because he's heard us every single time. We're going to say the same thing.
Scolded him.
Don't worry, Dad.
Yeah,
it's all going to work out.
But that's what I take from that. I was kind of like, you know what? As long as he admits that he's watching that garbage and that's why he's feeling the way he does, then he knows. Because I'm only going to say the same thing I've always told him.
Do you think, this is a thought that came to my mind the other day, do you think that there is a part of the left, in a weird way, that will miss Donald Trump? You know what I mean? Like, it was like almost like a sick addict. Like, it was like something that they constantly could whine about. And I just think, even though they talk about Joe Biden, like they're so excited about Joe Biden being the next president, do you think there's part of them that it's like, man, that gross thing I partook of is going to be gone, I don't know. I mean, I just thought about it, like maybe it's imagining the world without Donald Trump as our president really is a weird thing to think about, at least for me.
Well,
maybe
for
I'm
you.
just in too deep.
Yeah.
I'm just in too deep because I'm just
You can't be an Uber fan and go, you know what? I love Michael Jackson. I've been to all his concerts. I know all his songs. I know everything.
That's true.
But I'm partial. I'm impartial. I think he's just a
no,
talented
but the
performer.
world is so, it's even the other side. It's so, they spend so much energy on him that like removing that, it'll be interesting. Removing their negative energy.
Well, you're right.
That,
You're right.
You know what I
It's
mean?
without the Mockingbird media squawking, it's going to look really different. The landscape's going to look different, and the ability to teach, I don't know what that's going to look like, but it should be interesting because it's difficult as it is right now to share the stuff of the Great Awakening when you got people that are psyoped on BS that they're hearing over the airwaves.
Jose, you live in East Los Angeles. Do you ever go to the Beverly Hills rallies? Or any rallies? We have some LA Patriot friends.
Yeah. Just come out, man. It feels
Exactly, good. Debbie. Who are they going to blame? Who are they going to direct their anger at? Like, he's been such their punching bag. He's their punch line. It's like all they talk about is Donald Trump. So without him out of the picture, in their head, the scenario of Joe Biden being the next president, I was thinking there's got to be part of them that it's like, wait, what are we going to complain about? Because it's almost like that's what they need. They need something to constantly be complaining about.
Well, they will. When the corruption comes out, they're going to have a lot to complain about. The focus won't be on President Trump anymore. Because this is the mirror. This is the boomerang. It's coming to get them now. So it's like they're going to get nothing but pain. So it's coming. there's going to be a lot of focus that's not going to be on the president anymore. It's going to be on these
Yeah.
corrupt individuals, and we won't even look at President Trump anymore. We're going to be so disappointed in the public figures that we've put into power. Well, they've been cheating us and lying to us this whole time. So, like, people like Harley Ruda, he's a freaking plant, man. So all these people, there's a lot of plants everywhere, and they're all getting exposed. They're all getting exposed. I don't know. It's cool hanging out with these Anons. Who's Debbie again from Dallas?
Debbie from Dallas. She said she hasn't heard us in like 6 months. Our live.
Oh wow. Well,
We've been around, but
we've
we're
been shadow banned.
but
They haven't. We're still here. We're all.
I must go. Love you. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you for
Take care, Ricky. We're out of here.
Thank
too.
you for
We gotta
hanging
go.
out. We're gonna go too, and
Good night, all.
thanks, guys, and
That's a wrap.
keep the faith. Keep the faith.
Yes.
Keep the positivity. We got this, and it's slow. It's slow times for me, but like Debbie said, let's just remember we're watching the show and try to just enjoy it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.